Soludo to transform Onitsha Divisional Library. Federal government to ban export of cooking gas to crash price. In Spain, massive fire outbreak in a 14-story block kills 4. Hello, beautiful morning to you and welcome to Breakfast News at 8. I am David Okpokwasale. Before the news in details, here is a special message. Governor Chukwuma Soludo has come for a total turnaround maintenance of the Anambra State economy and promotion of core Igbo values. Let's continue to give him maximum support for the task ahead. We begin from Ogbo in Orumba North local government area, where the governor of Anambra State, Professor Chukwuma Soludo, has again warned communities in land disputes in the state against actions that contradict the government's approach towards ending land disputes and enthroning peace in the communities. The governor, represented by his deputy, Dr. Onyeka Bezim, who is also the chairman, Anambra State Boundary Committee, gave the warning when he visited disputing Abani, Ogbo, Orumba North local government area and Umuenu and Enugu villages of Umuawolo in Oka South local government area boundary. Our correspondent, Emmanuel Okonkwo, filed the report.
The governor, who restated his government's commitment towards restoring peace to all warring communities in the state, said that the communities with land issues must align with the government's peaceful approach to resolving conflicts. Professor Soludo, who frowned at the disposition of people of Umuenu village, Umuawolo, who did not show up at the disputing boundary as earlier directed by the State Boundary Committee, said that government will take necessary decisions and actions to resolve the age-long crisis and ensure that peace reigns in the area. He then asked communities in Anambra to always imbibe peace, as peace is key to development and progress of any nation.
Yes, we've had sessions in the office, and we decided that today the dispute lands will physically be there. As Mr. Governor always says, so we've seen it, and it's in line with what we've seen on the map. But quite unfortunate, a section of the people that we had agreement, they're not here for whatever reason. They know, but we've seen for ourselves. So we'll finally go and take our decisions. One of the processes that we strenuously undertake to see that we'll have peace, because the watchword is peace. We must have peace for meaningful development in Anambra State.
An indigene of Abani, Ogbo, Barrister Gabriel Ezani, who revealed that the boundary issue in the area has lasted since the year 1925, thanked the state government for intervening on the matter, but pleaded that the government, while taking decisions on the issue, should take cognizance of the fact that from time immemorial, fiscal features like rivers are usually known as demarcations between communities, states, among others.
You don't need to tell Amobia man and the Nibo man where the boundary is. So Bibia. Even at the state level, you don't need to tell Anambra State and the Enugu State. It's the Ezu River. And so on. You know more than myself. Not to talk of the lovely River Niger at Saba and then on it, and so on and so forth. So you take a look yourself. And remember, when we talk about land, we're talking about ancestry. Things that happened so many years ago. Can you imagine? Here, nobody will tell you that our ancestors, of course, had this as their boundary, because it's inconceivable that someone will come from there, across here, and then up there. It's a natural thing everybody sees. It's a very natural thing everybody sees. Even the Boundaries Commission, I will not speak for them, but then I wonder if they are tracing boundaries and they will not respect rivers, or they will not take cognizance of river occurrence and such natural features.
Among the governor's entourage were the senior special assistant to the governor on boundary matters, Mr. Ekene Chukwuokoye, members of the State Boundary Committee, among others. I am Emmanuel Okonkwo, reporting for ABS News.
The Onitsha Divisional Library has been selected for renovation and transformation to a smart library by the administration of Governor Chukwuma Soludo. Disclosing this when she paid an unscheduled visit to the library, the Commissioner for Education, Professor Ngozi Chumude, charged the librarian and staff to come up with ideas that will provide what it will take to realize the needed transformation program. The Commissioner announced a donation of 10,000 books to the library from Governor Chukwuma Soludo. Professor Chumude, who was accompanied to the visit by the Public Relations Officer of the Ministry, Mr. Nnemeka Egwonwu, her Special Assistant, Mr. Azubike Egotanwa, paid courtesy call to the Divisional Police Officer of Onitsha, Mr. Garba Rabiu, who also accompanied her on the visit. The librarian in charge of the Onitsha Divisional Library, Mrs. Juliet Enemo, later conducted Commissioner Chumude around the facilities in the library. She requested for the Commissioner's assistance for the relocation of the waste collection constituting nuisance in the library area. It was a beehive of cultural activities at Central School Field, Enugu to Aguleri, in Anambra East Council area as the people of the community trooped out en masse to celebrate the second Ovala festival of their traditional ruler, Igwe Emmanuel Ibanugo Ejiofor. The Ovala, which was tagged Ovala Mmepe Obodo Enugu to Aguleri, aimed to bring Ndị Enugu together to showcase their rich cultural heritage, display their harvested crops as the food basket of the state, and to pay homage to their traditional ruler, Igwe Ejiofor, who in turn released his Ovala message and blessed the land as the custodian of the culture of the people. Our correspondent, Amako Okoye, filed the report.
From the community, ranging from Ndi Ojana, Irunabo, ruling council, Ndi Ogonwanyi, age grades, and other traditional rulers from Anambra North, led by the traditional ruler of Enugu Aguleri, Ezechukwu Emekeri, came to the ceremony. The Ovala got to its peak when Igwe Ejiofor, led with Igbeze, danced round the arena exchanging pleasantries and welcoming his guests. Igwe Ejiofor, while breaking the kola nut, said that since he mounted the traditional stool of the community, progress, peace, and development have continued to come into the community through his subjects, who he praised for each day, praying more development and cordial relationship between them and their neighbors. He commended all the age grades in the community for contributing in one way or the other to bring massive development of the community. Igwe Ejiofor extolled Governor Chukwuma Soludo for hearkening to their call by building a world-class general hospital for Aguleri Otu communities, electrification of Aguleri Otu, and the construction of ultra-modern event center. Felicitating with Ndi Enugu to Aguleri, the traditional ruler of Mpunando to Aguleri, Igwe Johnson Mbanefo, testified that Igwe Ejiofor sacrificed a lot for the progress of his community before his emergence as the traditional ruler, saying now that he is on the throne, the community will continue to attain new heights of development, peace, and unity. He called on Ndi Enugu to keep supporting their traditional ruler.
So, area of the Batano na nwere ive dị iche and na ọ bụ na ọ dị ọla Enugu Otu mma ọ dịlị Mkpunando mma maka Enugu Otu na Mkpunando bụ na ọdụ ka mbegeli kana abọ na enwe nara akpagbu onwebe ibe ọ bụ na enwetara na Enugu Otu ya abalị Enugu Otu ulu at the same time balị ndị Mkpunando ulu.
For the chairman, Aguleri Royal Cabinet, Chief Dominic Ndife, Igwe Ejiofor has resolved all the lingering disputes in the community and called on youths to embrace all the government projects in their communities with large hearts. In their separate speeches, the President General of Enugu Otu Aguleri, Joseph Odipo, and the women leader of the community, Mrs. Juliana Iwuno, noted that they use the festival to showcase who they are, even as they say the community is having it so good with their traditional ruler, Igwe Ejiofor because of his love for his subjects and his open door policy. Homage to Igwe Ejiofor and other cultural display were highlights of the Ovala. From Enugu to Aguleri, Amaka Okoye, ABS News.
The federal government has been called upon to foster healthy competition in business among Nigerians and dismantle monopolies for the well-being of the citizenry. The member representing Nnewi North constituency at the State House of Assembly, Honorable Augustine Ike, gave the emphasis while speaking on an alarming hike in prices and inflation affecting essential goods like cement. Correspondent Emmanuel Chibata reports.
Expressing concern over the prevailing system of dangerous monopolies where businessmen are controlled by a few individuals, Honorable Ike highlighted the dire consequences for ordinary Nigerians who struggle to afford basic necessities, with food becoming increasingly scarce. Pointing to the recent surge in petrol prices exacerbating the situation, Honorable Ike called for the federal government to open up borders and markets for importation and to distribute licenses more equitably. He stressed that monopolistic practices have perpetuated hunger and deprivation among Nigerians. He also criticized the concentration of industries like cement and refinery ownership in the hands of a single entity, emphasizing the need for policies that prioritize the welfare of citizens in a densely populated country like Nigeria.
So let us stop this thing. If you feel that people are holding dollar, open up the market, share licenses, bring in foreign rice, bring in local rice. If I go to market, I choose to buy foreign rice, I choose to buy local rice. If cement is the problem, give licenses to everybody that can import cement. Bring in the imported one, bring in the local one. If I go to market, I choose the one to buy. We are not enjoying healthy competition in Nigeria in businesses. We are not enjoying healthy competition. And it is a scheme of government which is bad. Nigerians must be allowed to enjoy healthy competition. If we are enjoying healthy competition, cement, fuel will not reach 200 naira. And I'm begging government, please, let's open up our market.
That report by Emmanuel Chibata was taken from our studios. The governor of Ebonyi State, Francis Nwefuru, has approved the recruitment of 2,600 youths into the State Command of the Nigerian Hunters and Forest Security Service, NHFSS. This is coming as other state governments have been urged to embrace the Hunters Service to ensure that forests are made no-go areas for criminals in the country. The governor's approval is aimed at enhancing the capacity of security agencies in the state to fight crimes, especially those committed within the forests. We bring you the details.
Developments over the weekend. The Ebonyi State Commander of Nigerian Hunters and Forest Security Service, Igwe Larry, said the approval was a great testimony of the confidence of the state government in the abilities of the Nigerian Hunters and Forest Security Service to contribute effectively to curbing insecurity in the country by complementing the efforts of the police, the Nigerian Army, and other sister agencies. Commander Larry, on behalf of Commander General of Nigerian Hunters and Forest Security Service, Dr. Wolo Joshua Osatime, thanked Governor Nwefuru for the kind gesture and pledged the commitment of the service to the security of lives and properties of the people of the state, especially in curbing forest-related crimes. Reacting to the development, the Deputy Commander General of Nigerian Hunters and Forest Security Service, in charge of technical service, Ambassador John Mechie, urged other state governments to emulate Ebonyi State and recruit Nigerian Hunters and Forest Security Service personnel to fight crimes. Ambassador Mechie thanked Governor Nwefuru and assured that Ebonyi State will soon be free from the challenges of crime committed within forests. To ensure immediate compliance to the governor's approvals, Commander Igwe announced vacancy for recruitment of able-bodied young men and women from the state into the Nigerian Hunters and Forest Security Service.
The federal government is to stop the exportation of liquefied petroleum gas, popularly called cooking gas, in a bid to increase its volume domestically so as to warrant a crash in price. It stated this yesterday that LPG producers in Nigeria and key stakeholders in the industry had been told to stop exporting the commodity out of Nigeria following the recent jump in the cost of cooking gas. Although the volume of LPG consumption in Nigeria depends on the specific time frame. Figures obtained from the Nigerian Midstream Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority indicate that in 2022, the total cooking gas consumption across the country was 1.4 million metric tons. Data from the agency put total domestic production during the review period as 600,000 metric tons, while imports accounted for 800,000 metric tons. In 2021, total consumption was estimated at around 800,000 metric tons, as domestic production was about 300,000 metric tons, while the volume that was imported in that year was put at 500,000 metric tons. Cooking gas consumption has been increasing significantly with ambitious targets to reach 5 million metric tons by 2029, as LPG dealers stated that though Nigeria exports the commodity, the country relies heavily on imports to meet domestic demand. This implies that the federal government could stop the export of over 600,000 metric tons of cooking gas based on its drive to crash the price of the commodity locally. At least 4 people have died and 15 others are missing after a massive fire ripped through 2 joined apartment blocks in the Spanish city of Valencia. The blaze engulfed a 14-story block in the Campana neighborhood and spread to an adjoining building. Firefighters were seen rescuing people from balconies. Experts say that highly flammable cladding on the building enabled the fire to spread rapidly. The building contains 138 flats and was home to 450 residents. 15 people, including 6 firefighters and a young child, have been injured, although their lives are not in danger. Valencia Mayor Maria Jose Catala said authorities were still trying to locate between 9 and 15 people, while the government regional representative said 14 people remained unaccounted for. Remember that you can follow news and programs on ABS from any part of the world by liking our Facebook page at Anambra Broadcasting Service. Subscribe to our YouTube at ABS Television, Oka. You can follow us on Instagram at ABS Radio TV and also log on to our website at www.absradiotv.com. Before we go, here are the main points again. We told you that Anambra State government has restated commitment towards peaceful resolution of land disputes across the state, as Governor Soludo has revealed his plans to transform Onitsha Divisional Library. We also told you that the federal government is to ban export of cooking gas to crash prices, while in Spain, massive fire outbreak in a 14-story block has killed 4 persons. Remember that Governor Chukwuma Soludo has come for a total turnaround maintenance of the Anambra State economy and promotion of core Igbo values. Let's continue to give him maximum support for the task ahead. And that's the news this morning, as edited by Blessing Ijedibia and the production team. I am David Bokwasile. Thank you for joining us this morning.